Guys, the number one sponsor of SPTV is Ridge. What you need, what you want is the new hotness, Ridge's Slim Wallets. And you'll never lose your wallet again with Ridge's Smart Wallet solution. Using the AirTag Cash Strap or the AirTag Money Clip, you can use the Find My network to find your wallet. This is also a perfect time to buy, as Ridge is running a summer sweepstakes with a chance to win a brand new upgraded Hennessy Ford Bronco or $75,000 if you prefer cash. You'll get 10 bonus entries for Ridge's summer sweepstakes, as well as 10% off by using my link in the description down below. That's ridge.com/AARon. Good afternoon, everyone. Doug Dohring, the creator-founder of Neopets, later the creator-founder of ABC Mouse, under the banner of the Age of Learning Company, has passed away. The reason I'm discussing this on this channel, it brings me absolutely no pleasure of any kind whatsoever when Scientologists, high-level Scientologists, famous Scientologists, rich Scientologists pass away. The only reason I consider it newsworthy at all is because the incredibly high death rate among Scientologists from cancer is something that someone's got to look into. I know correlation does not equal causation and all that stuff, but anecdotally speaking, there is just no denying that there is an unbelievably high incidence of cancer among the population of Scientologists. I don't know if it's because of the blue asbestos on the free winds. I don't know if it's because of just the extremely stressful nature of existing in a space where you're having to constantly censor your own thoughts and your speech and your friends are spying on you. I don't know if it's due to something to do with the process of auditing itself or the small electrical flow that goes through the cans of the e-meter when you're holding it. I don't claim to know any of that. I just know that there's an awfully small number of Scientologists in the world, and an awfully large number of them die from cancer. And why is that even? There's another reason why that's even relevant to the conversation. Not dying from cancer would be pretty high on the list of the things Scientology, and going up Scientology's bridge to freedom, is supposed to like give you superpowers to prevent that from happening. Like Doug Dohring is someone who I looked up his Scientology service completion list, and it doesn't specifically say that he finished OT8, but he did finish OT7 enough years ago that he almost certainly would have finished OT8. OT8 is the highest level of Scientology auditing that you can attain. In recent years, and this will, mean something to Scientologists. Doug Dohring finished OT7, Superpower, Cause Resurgence Rundown, all three of his L rundowns. There's no high chances are he finished OT8 as well. It's like, Scientologists will explain away high-level members dying, dropping the body. Scientologists will explain things away like that. He used his OT powers and his, ability to be cause over the physical universe to causatively drop his body. And you go, well, how come he didn't causatively not get cancer? How come he didn't causatively make the cancer go away once he got it? How come he didn't causatively live as long as possible, which is pretty much up there on the things Scientologists think that their Scientology superpowers are going to allow them to do. I know what it's like to live in that bubble and be able to explain away things that should be eye-openers. I know how hard it is for any one single thing to open anyone's eyes when they're really in that bubble. I used to be in that bubble. I could tell you ridiculous stories of things that did not open my eyes. And I get that. But I also know that everyone who's in that bubble eventually reaches a point when they start to lower their defenses and allow themselves to receive information and think about it critically in a way they never did before. And high-level members who've donated tens of millions of dollars and volunteered thousands of hours, volunteered their own children. Two of Doug Dohring's children are Sea Org members, high-level Sea Org members. I'm going to read you something about that in a moment here. high-level members who've donated tens of millions of dollars, and children and time dying young, dying too young, that is something that Scientologists, when they start to lower their defenses, will go, it doesn't add up. How is this possible? And the answer is Scientology is a scam. I mean, sorry, guys, that's the answer. And I know a lot of people, well, Scientologists particularly, will go, I got this auditing and it helped me so much and it made me feel great. I go, I understand that. That doesn't mean Scientology is not a scam. I have had auditing that made me feel great. It doesn't mean Scientology is not a scam. For you Scientologists out there, and I've tried to dig up this policy letter online. By the way, guys, if any of you out there have a digital copy of Scientology's policy letters and Scientology's technical bulletins, please contact me and share that with me. It would really come in handy for my videos. The L. Ron Hubbard policy letter called Soft Sell, and another HCO policy letter called Tech Downgrades, different than technical degrades, talks about the fact that, you know, it is actually a high crime in Scientology to sell Scientology to people by saying it's something that will make you feel better. Aside from all the celebrities who get in front of cameras and say Scientology is nothing but a set of tools on how to handle life better. You're allowed to say that when you're talking to the press about Scientology. But if you're a Scientology fundraiser, a registrar, it's actually a crime to say that people should do Scientology because it will make them feel better. That's called soft sell. That's downgrading the importance of Scientology and what it can do. Scientology sells Scientology by saying it will free you from the endless cycle of birth to death. You will regain your spiritual immortality and your native godlike powers. You will achieve, telepathy, telekinesis, the ability to go in and out of your body at will, remote viewing, all of this shit. And you go, Scientology so obviously doesn't do that. And so if it doesn't do that, why do people who are being promised that this is, that is the Holy Grail, that is what you will achieve, why do people keep throwing away their time, their money, and their family on an endeavor that is a scam? Just look at L. Ron Hubbard's life. Look at how he died. Look at his life and his death is all the evidence you need that Scientology is a scam. But Scientologists, that's very hard for them to hear. Look at David Miscavige's life. Look at how his family's life, his family's been destroyed by Scientology. Look at Tom Cruise's life. His family's been destroyed by Scientology. The product of Scientology is destruction. And yes, certain Scientology auditing can make people feel good about certain things for short periods of time. That's why the scam works. That's why the scam works. I've said it before. It's like when you go golfing and you suck at golf, but maybe you hit one or two really good drives or, really good approach shots. And you're like, I could be good at this. No, you're never going to be good at golf. You're doomed to an eternity of being shitty at golf and getting one or two really good shots around. That's like doing Scientology's bridge. Every now and then you'll do an auditing session and you'll be like, I feel great. Okay. But you're going to spend millions of dollars and thousands of hours, and you're going to give up your children for nothing because Scientology's bridge to total freedom is an absolute scam. Full operating thetan is a scam. The state of clear is a scam. Being able to exteriorize at will with full perceptions is a scam. And y'all know it. Y'all know it's a scam. You just think the next auditing level is going to be the thing that gives you those results. And spoiler alert, it's not. Spoiler alert, there is no OT 9 and 10. Okay, let me get to the actual email. I was sent this email by an employee of Age of Learning yesterday. It says, here's the email sent to all of us employees at Age of Learning, which is Doug's company, by the new CEO. Now, the email itself is not particularly interesting or newsworthy. It does say, I'm writing today to share some difficult news. Doug passed away peacefully this morning at 8 a.m. He was at home surrounded by his entire family. When you heard from Doug last week, he was still in the fight. I guess Doug must have sent an email out to the whole company or something. And it's not clear to me whether the company actually knew that he was sick. When you heard from Doug last week, he was still in the fight. He and his family and doctors threw everything into it these past 4 months, but it was an uphill battle. In very Doug fashion, a few days ago, he elected to stop treatment, as he puts it, to move on to his next adventure. As always, doing everything on his terms. I have no idea if the new CEO is a Scientologist. It says here that his name is Alex. I don't know who he is. I haven't looked. And it talks about, it's got a lot of company, you know, kind of like rah-rah stuff about the company. Now, at the end of this email, the employee who shared this with me says, it says, note the changes to the Wikipedia page. Doug Dohring's Wikipedia page doesn't actually like give his birthday or his age. So it doesn't say that he died, but it was updated yesterday to change all the verb tense from present tense to past tense. It says, apparently Doug's twin daughters were allowed to take extended leave from their posts high in the C organization, in the Commodore's Messengers organization, which is unheard of for anyone but children of very rich donors. His daughters were allowed to take this leave to be by his side for the last few months. That is incredible. If that is true, that Doug's daughters, by the way, because Doug and his wife have 2 sets of identical twins. And actually, those of you watching might be more familiar with one of Doug's kids, Jason Dohring, who's a famous actor. When I was still in the Sea Org in Los Angeles, Jason was actually, in addition to being a famous working actor, he was actually a staff member at the Los Angeles organization, which is unheard of for a Scientology celebrity to also be a staff member. That's incredibly rare. Okay, so that's Jason. Okay, so he has I think he's the only member of the Dohring kids who is a successful working actor. I did not know that 2 of Doug's twins were actually in the Sea organization, so that's news to me. It says here, he seemed like a genuine person, family man, and someone who really cared about the mission of ABC Mouse and Age of Learning. While I do not agree with Scientology or the millions of dollars he donated to it, I got to give respect where respect is due. Rest in peace. That was the email that I got. So, yeah, I'll tell you, even the subject of ABC Mouse and it being a Scientologist owned and run company has always been a little bit of a controversial topic on my channel specifically, because I've always been very hesitant to encourage people to boycott companies that really have nothing to do with Scientology, just on the basis that like it's owned and run by Scientologists. The reason ABC Mouse was a bit of a controversial topic in that regard is because it was so freaking successful. And ABC Mouse was the vehicle through which Doug Dohring was able to donate tens of millions of dollars to Scientology. And that made it a little controversial because the truth is the ABC Mouse learning platform, just to be perfectly blunt, has nothing to do with Scientology. They're not like, you're not secretly, if you subscribe to that service or that platform or whatever it is, you're not like secretly being fed Scientology indoctrination. There's no Scientology, courses or concepts built into the curriculum. It just happened to be that a Scientologist was making and was worth a gazillion dollars because of that company, and a lot of that money was going to Scientology. So even though I'm not someone who encourages people to stay away from companies just because those companies are owned by Scientologists, understandably, an awful lot of my audience does feel that way. I'm not going to support a company if I know my support of that company will result in money going to Scientology. And I have increasingly come around to that point of view, actually, and to understanding why people feel that way. I mean, I'm pretty sure my kids did ABC Mouse when they were little. I can't be like, don't use that service because it's owned by a Scientologist. But yeah, I mean, tens of millions of dollars, Doug Dohring. And that's just Doug. That doesn't even mention his family members, who I'm sure have donated millions and millions of more. So in recent memory here, we're looking at Kelly Preston. And by the way, this email does not say beyond any shadow of a doubt that he died of cancer. It just sounds to me like he did. If I'm wrong, I apologize. It sounds like he did. I guess it could have been. I'm just trying to read the language here and figure out. So it sounds like he only knew he was dying for the last 4 months. But guys, isn't that what we heard from Kirstie Alley as well? Very late diagnosis. Very late diagnosis. Could it have been organ failure of some kind? There has been no press release or news items whatsoever about Doug having passed away. I haven't even seen anything from Scientology or Scientology people posting it on social media or Facebook. If I had not gotten an email from this non-Scientologist employee of Age of Learning, I wouldn't even have known about this. So I don't know, guys, for you Scientologists out there who are, soon to be under the radar, I think you have to start asking why you are being pressured to donate hundreds of thousands of dollars, to do thousands upon thousands of hours of auditing, giving your children up to the Sea Organization. If you're not giving up your own life to staff or the Sea Organization, to what? To clear the planet, to get people into Scientology, to get them up the bridge. For what? For what benefit? For what gain? To feel a little better after some auditing sessions every now and then? Like, honestly, what's the real world benefit? To skip the implant stations, to come back next lifetime with full recall? How are you supposed to be capable enough and aware enough to do all of those things that you still believe in if the bridge doesn't make people capable enough and aware enough to not die young of cancer and other things? The cognitive dissonance here is, oh yes, we used our OT powers to causatively leave the body. Guys, I'd settle for causatively not dying young. How about that? Hey, probably not much more I want to say on this specific subject for right now, but I feel like it's something we'll be talking about I'll be talking about with different guests, perhaps over the next week. Let's see. Tammy Producer, I know you won't or can't, but you need to rest. Oh, guys, I got like 10 and a half hours of sleep last night. My sleep has been horrible the last few days, but I caught up last night. But I haven't seen the sun today, so I don't know. Do I look a little pale? Do I look puffy? Do I look tired? You're going to wear yourself out. We love what you're doing and we'll always be here for you. Sleep, please. Yes, it's true. I was just talking to someone about this yesterday. I almost don't know what it means to get burnt out. There was a period, I don't know, 6 months ago where I did feel like, oh God, I've got to do a video today. I really don't want to do a video today. I really don't want to do a video today. To me, that would be getting burnt out, feeling like I had to do something I didn't want to do. But I got to tell you, when I got stuff that I want to talk about and I'm, it's almost impossible for me to get burnt out if I'm doing something that I like. I don't know if that's a carryover I took from just working so many damn hours in Scientology or not, but it's almost impossible. But I do agree with you, Tammy. Nothing is more important. Almost nothing is more important than sleep. And I do everything I can to get as much sleep as possible. So anyway, thank you for caring. Jeff Augustine, Scientology Money Project. Doug Dohring, and Age of Learning was fined $10 million by the U.S. Federal Trade Commission for running a roach motel, i.e. where credit cards go in and never come out. Yes, I remember this. I do remember this. And I remember there was also, they ended up being involved in some education initiative that was being pushed in the Florida state legislature, being championed by, Chris Latvala. And Chris Latvala, who's now a Pinellas County commissioner, he got suckered into allowing ABC Mouse to come in and piggyback on this educational initiative and offer their digital platform for free to a bunch of probably low-income parents of school-age children. And Chris Latvala got suckered into it like, oh, they're doing it for free. And I go, no. You're giving them hundreds of thousands of free leads, because I guarantee you won't be able to sign up for that free platform without providing a credit card, without providing credit card info, even if that credit card forget the credit card info, without providing contact info. You're providing them emails to hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of parents of school-age children. And now you're basically giving them free leads and free publicity. And anyway, Chris Latvala didn't want to hear about all that. But yes, I do remember that. Thank you for reminding me about that, Jeff. Okay, guys, let's see. Rachel says, miss you and Reese. Any more audio recordings? There may not be any more audio recordings, but me and Reese are going to do a whole lot more content just as soon as I've just been so freaking busy. And she's also been out of town. So yeah, a lot more coming. Oh, by the way, one last plug. Since there's a couple thousand people watching, I said I was going to do a fundraiser event for the Aftermath Foundation when I hit 180,000 subs. The subscribers have been exploding so quickly. I haven't even had time, and I'm already almost at 200,000. So in order to celebrate two things, in order to celebrate 200,000 subscribers, which will happen in a few days, and in order to capitalize on the over-the-top vicious attacks Scientology's been leveling against the Aftermath Foundation recently, in order to turn that against David Miscavige. This Sunday, me, Mark, Claire, Mike, Matt, and Amy will all be simultaneously with each other doing a live stream Aftermath Foundation fundraiser. The reason I'm mentioning this is because in order to participate in a fundraiser, a channel has to have at least 10,000 subscribers. Amy Scobie is 400 subscribers away from hitting her 10,000. And we want her channel to be able to participate in the fundraiser. So I don't have a link here, you guys, but I'll put a link in the description down below for the replay crew. Goldie, if you're in the live chat, you can put a link to Amy Scobie's channel. Jump over and please subscribe to Amy Scobie. 400 more subs, and we'll have a full house for the fundraiser on Sunday. All right, everyone, that is all I got for now. Much more to come later this afternoon. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you to everyone, as always, who watches until the very end. And I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside